Hi, guys. Thank you for subscribing. And if you happen to find me from scrolling around or heard about my YouTube channel and you like what you hear and see, I hope you'll help me out and hit that subscribe button. So Trump is now he's at that point. Somebody, and I forget who it was, put a social media, it went viral. The point in a movie, where the bad guy goes tearing through the restaurant kitchen and starts throwing pots and pans on the floor, to keep the law enforcement from getting him. He says we're at that point in the Trump presidency. Trump is in a panic, running away, throwing the pots and pans in the path of law enforcement trying to apprehend him. The latest sign of his desperation is, aside from the fact that, well, he's going to have President Obama arrested for some made-up reason, it's clear that he's afraid of the worst of the Epstein files to come out about him. He expects it to very soon. There is a drip, drip, drip. He knows somebody has it all. And he very strongly suspects that even a pardon and putting a nice, sheen on Ghislaine Maxwell isn't going to help him because she is not the full thing in this. She's not the only one in possession of the information. She's already perjured herself before. She's serving time for her crimes. And remember, she didn't just help procure the young girls for the men. She's in prison because she herself engaged in the activity of basically statutory rape with these young girls. So she's very much a bad person in all of this. And it's clear that Trump's personal attorneys at the Attorney General's office, the DOJ, went in there and basically said, if you say this and let Trump off the hook, you'll get a pardon. I mean, everybody assumes that. We've seen the top legal minds say, yes, this is clearly what it is. It's obstruction of justice. It's a crime. John Mitchell went to prison for less than this during Watergate. Pam Bondi does not seem to care about that. She seems pretty confident. Although, as I've noted before, what Trump tends to do is he pulls people in. And if you commit just a little bit of a crime for him, and then you want out when you realize, hey, I didn't sign up for this. I don't want to be a criminal. I'll be sleazy. I'll be unethical, but I don't want to be a criminal. It's too late. He pulls you in even further. It's my belief, as I've said before, that this is what happened with Dan Bongino, which is why there was we heard about the big blow up with him and Bondi. And then he left and stormed out the building and apparently it didn't show up for work for a day or two. He's a bad guy. He's an unethical guy. He's a creepy guy. But up to that point, he wasn't a criminal. So you sort of get sucked in. This is what the mafia does as well. They suck you in. And then you are forced to commit as many crimes as they order you to do. And sometimes you can get in unwittingly. So I believe that is what happened. The problem now is that so all these people are working to cover for Trump, but that has nothing to do with the other people that are on the list. Okay. They still will fear Maxwell as long as she is walking free now, as it appears she will be. So there's no guarantee of her silence. I don't think that she's safe. I've expressed that before. But here's the thing. Trump is starting to panic because he knows more is coming out. And so what he's banking on is that his base, his cult base, who are starting to drift from him, they're very concerned about him and the Epstein situation. And I've been getting notices that I have to be careful what I say on YouTube. They don't like that. When we talk about the actual things that are happening in the news and with the President of the United States, I guess certain words are flagged. I don't know. But anyway, we know that, okay, so Trump is coming up with all this stuff about Obama. He knows he's losing his base, that people that have stuck by him with everything. But when it comes to this, when it comes to the Epstein stuff, that might be the line in the sand. And there's never been a line in the sand for these people. And he's known it for a decade. He famously said, as we all know, I could stand on Fifth Avenue and shoot someone and I wouldn't lose any support. The Epstein situation, we're talking about underage girls. That's where it appears he's losing support. And I think he overegged his pudding with the upcoming pardon, which we all know will probably happen. And that makes him look more guilty, particularly if and when more comes out, the worst of the worst, proof. And he can claim that it's AI or whatever, but enough of his base will know differently. So what he's trying to do right now, he is now calling for the arrest of Kamala Harris, Oprah Winfrey, and Beyonce. Okay? Gee, what do they all have in common? Remember, we just talked about Barack Obama. I'm surprised he didn't throw in Jasmine Crockett, Maxine Waters, who else we got? The list is long. He's going after Black women. That is who he hates the most. And he's confident that his base, his hardcore MAGA, racist, sexist cult base, is with him on that. In fact, he knows that that's it. The only thing they hate worse than a Black man, Barack Obama, is a Black woman. And we've seen this over and over and over again as he viciously targets and attacks Black women in power. All right? We've seen this over and over and over again. And I think that's why now he's picked out these 3 names. He'll come up with a few more. This is Trump's way of trying to please his base with the thing that he thinks gets them to their gut. He is hoping that their hatred and fear of powerful, successful Black women will be greater than their disgust of him being proven to have been with underage girls via Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. That is the only thing that makes sense here. In his desperation, he's trying to find something that will balance this out to save him. I'm surprised he doesn't go after Fani Willis again. Right? Who else we got? There's a list. There's a whole list of powerful Black women, many who have gone after him legally with a high degree of success, and he hates them. He hates them. And he's hoping that his MAGA base hates them so much and is so happy and grateful and cheering him on for targeting powerful, successful Black women that they will forgive him for whatever he did regarding Jeffrey Epstein and those activities with underage girls. Now, the one thing that I've suggested on social media, and I'll say it here, is because I have some pretty good ideas and I do have some communications chops. I do believe that senators, Democratic senators, should take to the Senate floor and do their morning hour on this and start reading out loud to insert into the record and on C-SPAN, and also widely publish it in their home media so that their home state press can cover this and catch it on C-SPAN, as well as the national media, that they're going to be doing this. And they should read word for word all of the testimony from all of the victims that have come forward. Everything from the trials, anything from the media, anything and everything we have, and source it. And then I think on the House side, they should do the same. They could do special orders. I guess they could do 1 minute in the morning, but some of this testimony is pretty long unless they want to break it up. But they can do special orders after House. Now, obviously, Speaker Johnson doesn't want this because, that's why he's shutting down all the House's business. But if Democrats start pushing back, it will be harder for Trump to hide this information from his base, which is what he's trying to do. And right now, Fox News is helping him. Now, I was at brunch today with a friend and we had this discussion about what turns. And I said, well, the minute, when Trump's base turns on him, that means that Republicans in Congress will turn on him. They will be reacting to what their MAGA constituents, the ones who put them in office, are thinking and feeling and what they want. So if Trump loses a big portion of his MAGA Republican base, that means that these MAGA Republicans in the House and the Senate will have to turn against him. Okay? That is what happens. And when that happens, you remember, these are Fox News viewers. They're Newsmax viewers. When their viewers start turning against them, then they will jump on the bandwagon. and they will start pushing Trump out and promoting J.D. Vance. We've already seen a little bit of the pro J.D. Vance stuff, talking about like his leadership skills. The guy's ratings are in the toilet. Everybody hates him wherever he goes. But that's another video. But right now, I think I've accurately laid out the dynamic here. Now, here's the thing. Everything right now still appears to be in the control of, as I've said from the beginning, this all started with Elon Musk, and I believe he's working with Putin on this. Again, all of a sudden, out of the blue, Elon Musk picks a fight with Trump and starts bringing up Epstein. He picks a fight on the budget bill. He didn't care about our budget. He didn't care about the big, beautiful bill. He doesn't care about spending. He knows that Doge was a joke. Doge was just to get rid of the agencies, the sub-agencies that were investigating his businesses and make sure he's still the big welfare queen. But again, just to keep saying this, we can pass it all around. This started when Trump failed to know about and report to Putin that Ukrainian President Zelensky was planning this drone strike. And we even had Mike so up in arms that he was saying, we need to find out who in our government, in our intelligence community, in our IC knew about this and didn't tell the president. Well, guess what? As my friend today at brunch said, and she's pretty steeped in the defense world, he used to be, and she said, of course, there's more than one person. So maybe, is that the deep state? I hope so. Because if they can do something to save us from this monster, from Trump, that'd be great. But also, the entire operation only cost $47,000. As I've said before, less than the price of a Tesla. And so they really didn't need allies to give money and arms and support. And so Putin was bested by Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. And he only installed Trump as president for Ukraine, to deliver Ukraine. It has always been about Ukraine. And I must remind you again that in the 2016, at the RNC convention in 2016, at the platform committee meetings, they all are in different rooms for different parts of the platform for different issue areas. The only platform item of the RNC platform that the Trump campaign inserted itself into, and really inserted itself into hard, was on Ukraine and making sure that we go a little bit easier on Putin. It was to adhere to Putin's wishes. Got it? So for Putin, the only thing that matters is Ukraine. They needed Elon's help in 2024 because of what happened in 2020, where all those mail-in paper ballots screwed them up because of the pandemic. They didn't succeed like they did in 2016. So in 2024, they needed Elon's help. I mean, he's all but said that. Elon got what he wanted. Trump needed to stay out of prison, just wanted to be an oligarch himself and just make money illegally, bribe everybody, just put money in my coffers, do the crypto stuff, whatever. And then Putin got blindsided by Ukraine, by Zelensky. Right after that was when the trouble started for Trump. And they decided that he's now outlived his usefulness and time to push him out. So he's back and forth. As soon as he found out about the Wall Street Journal article coming out, the first one about a week and a half ago, what did he do? Before it even hit, he announces his illness. Well, he's been sick for 5 years. We've known that. So he's trying to let them know, I'll play ball with you. And then I think he wakes up in the morning and says, I can do better than this. I can hang on. Because that's his ego. But he's not the one in control. Putin is. So the plan is to have Vance. Vance is worse in many ways, but I repeat, and I do think that I still want Trump gone by any means possible. And then we haven't figured out how Vance will be able to reign without the MAGA adoring him. And that's where I think these ICE agents, this private militia, comes into play. But I don't know. We haven't figured that out. But it doesn't mean that they're going to win. That they're going to defeat us. But anyway, that's what I think is going on with Trump. What he's doing now regarding former President Barack Obama, former Vice President Kamala Harris, Oprah Winfrey, and Beyonce is disgusting, racist, sexist. And he's getting as dirty as possible because he knows his base loves that. And he's hoping that, again, They hate powerful Black women more than they hate the idea of him with underage girls. He's betting on that because he is bracing himself for the worst to come out. And I believe it will. There's that drip, drip, drip. So anyway, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me if you think I'm onto something here.